So we just finished playing Bloodborne for the first time. It was great. It was a really, really wonderful time. We are also going to be making a tier list based off of my experience playing the bosses, who I'm rating as my favorite bosses to play versus the bosses that I don't ever want to see again. We also have lovely chat here to help us out, and it's going to be a great time. We tried to do this once already, so we're going to fly through a few of them until we get to the ones that we could not find on the previous tier list. So first up, we're going to go in order of who we play as, or not play as, but play against. So I know that myself personally, I played Cleric Beast first. I fought against Cleric Beast first. Where is he? So Cleric Beast, where did we place him last time? I think I put him as a B fight because he was annoying, but he was the fight that hard stopped me the first time I ever tried playing Bloodborne. And the fact that I got past him first try, first go, it was great. Yeah. I think I put him at a B the last time, Machete, but thank you for trying to keep me honest. Also, yes, everybody, welcome to YouTube. Okay, so after the Cleric Beast, I fought Father Gascoigne, and Papa Gascoigne does something to my heart. I really love his character design. I love his story. I think he is just such a cool first level check. Like, you have to be better with your parrying, you have to be better with your visceral attacks, and just in general I think he's a really good teachable moment. But I know a lot of people really think he's quite easy at the second New Game Plus, anything like that. I don't care. I'm putting Papa Gascoigne as an S tier frickin' fight. And welcome to the Bloodborne fight. Big, nasty, screamy. Exactly. Very good welcome with the stinky Cleric Beast. Okay, so after Cleric Beast, then we had the Bloodstarved Beast. I don't know anybody who likes Bloodstarved Beast. We put BSB as a D, or if possible, we could have put him as an F tier fight. Where is this jerk? There he is. He's a D fight. His RNG sucks. He's nasty. He's a trash boy. He clips in and out of areas. He has no respect for you, the Great Junta, and for that, he is a D class fight. And thank you for agreeing with me, Machete. Thank you. Trash. Absolute trash. Press F. F for screamers. We don't like those guys. No, not fun. Speaking of screamy people, there's a lot on this list. Where is she? Miss Vicar Amelia. I think I put Amelia as a C-class fight. So Amelia, to me, was a C-class just based off of the fact that she is not memorable to me. Her lore is kind of cool, but I don't really care too much about her. So personally, yeah, she's just not my jam. Okay, so after Bloodstarved Beast, I think you immediately go into the Witches of Hemwick, which I also think I put as a C-class fight. I don't think it's a C-class fight anymore. I'm gonna put them as a D because it's more of an annoying fight to find the cycles, to find the actual enemies, the patience that you need to just run around the room. It was a first try boss, which is fine, but I don't think it was particularly challenging if you've watched any of Bloodborne before. Just myself, just personally, just how I feel about it, I didn't really enjoy them. I thought they were kind of blah, you know, whatever. Just my thoughts, just my feelings. Can't get mad at that. So next on this list is the Shadows of Yharnam. The area that they came from sucked. The fight itself, kind of blah. They're going in a C-class for me because they weren't particularly difficult. They were satisfying to get down. Once you kind of cornered one and things like that, then it was fine. I'm blind too, Machete. I see you. I think I previously had put them at a D. I'm gonna bump them up to a C-class fight. They were okay. You know, I wouldn't want to fight them again, but if I saw them in a Chalice Dungeon, it's not like I'd be like, oh my god. You know, whatever. Not the biggest deal. It's fine. They're fine. Meh. Okay, and then here we go. We have our stinky spider friend, Rom the Vacuous. I think we also put Rom as a C. Yep, Rom gets a C class. Rom's gross. Rom's a nasty spider. Rom spawns lots of nasty spiders. If you have, what's it called? Tryptophobia of small holes, you will absolutely despise Rom. I don't know if you'll get through it between tryptophobia and arachnophobia. Disgusting. Really not a fan. Thank you, SK. That emo is dang perfect. Yeah, Rom just... The area was cool. Getting to her was kind of cool. The lore behind Rom is slick. but the fight itself is annoying and time consuming, and I don't like that you have to run from area to area. I don't know. I'm just maybe a big wuss about it, but I don't care. Not my jam. Not my jam. And then here's the one that made us kind of restart the whole thing anyway, because we couldn't find them. The One Reborn. So again, if I had not watched playthroughs or seen how to play against the One Reborn, I feel like I most definitely would have put it as a D tier fight. It's disgusting. This one's an A for you. Interesting. I was going to put them at a B. So I think the dynamic is really cool between having to fight the top layer people first so that you're not absolutely swamped. And then once you get into it, it is kind of a satisfying fight. I think I first tried this boss as well, which I was really happy about because I thought it would be so much harder for me, and it wasn't that bad. He's so metal looking. And see, that's why I'm putting him at a B, is because he's freaking disgusting. He's so gross. Like between the opening scene for the One Reborn and the Orphan of Cause, like between the two of them, nasty. Just the worst thing, which is part of the Bloodborne aesthetic. He's intimidating and he had you on your toes. I mean, that's fair. I'm feeling like I'm kind of getting swayed to putting him in an A class because he was a cool fight. He was just disgusting. Okay, we'll put him at an A. His disgustingness takes him down from an S, but he's definitely an A class fight for me. Yes. Do I bow to peer pressure? No. Totally don't bow to peer pressure. Absolutely not. Oh, and then alternatively, we have Parle here as well. So Parle, okay, Dark Beast Parle. The story behind Parle is really cool. The lore is really cool. The design is really freaking cool. Getting to him is a little bit annoying, a little bit tedious because you have to go through Yahar'gul if you're going the like beginner way. I don't know. I was really overpowered when I fought Parle. I'm gonna put him as a B fight because he's really cool, but he was easy for me because I went so late in the game, and it was one of those things that I kind of wish that I had challenged him sooner to be more of a challenging, but at the same time I'm fine that he was like, you know, easy peasy, really fun that way, because then you feel like a badass, then it's a good time, you know. I enjoyed it. The blue on his electric attack is so sweet. That's the thing, his colors are great. His colors I really liked. All right, so after Parle, we headed into the DLC, and there we ran into Amygdala, or as we have lovingly called her on this stream. We started calling her Amy. Amy was a very intimidating boss. She was also really kind of fun because when you punished, it felt good. She had a really cool design. I liked that you were able to fight her. Getting to her was super annoying though. I'm gonna put Amygdala as a B fight for me. I think I did a first try on her and that was great. Would I want to fight her again? Sure, I could try it. Yeah, she was a B class. I think that it's fair. I don't really think she was awful. She wasn't amazing. She's a good mediocre fight for me. After Amygdala, however, we fight in the Nightmare Frontier and we head our way up to Margo's wet nurse, and on the way we have to fight Mikolash, the host of the nightmare. And oh my god, was he ever a nightmare for me. I feel like I got like all the terrible RNG with him. I feel like it was one of those things where like everything that could have gone wrong for the few of the runs really went wrong, and then he ended up glitching out in a hallway, and that was like the only way I could have fought him, or not could have fought him, but the only way that I beat him was because he was stuck in the hallway. Mikolash is trash and I'm putting him at a D tier, and guess what? I don't care. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you're like, oh, but you can choose him like this. I don't care. He's a D. He's awful. Ugh. Rant over. Also, the Yharnam through Marion Queen, she's not a boss fight. She gets an S tier. She's a beautiful, wonderful woman. She gets to live her best life. Oh, Yharnam's a Chalice boss. Not too difficult, but thematically excellent. Interesting. So just going off the fact that I just like killed her at the top of the stairs, she's going at an S tier for me because she's just sad. She's just a sad little lady, you know? All right, so after Mikolash, then we run up, and then we have Margo crying at the top of the stairs. We have Margo's wet nurse, and this was a really cool fight. I liked the music. I liked the theme. The boss itself wasn't too challenging, but I would definitely fight her again. I thought it was really, really cool. I'm gonna put Margo's Wet Nurse at an A class for me. So I really liked the different phases. I thought that it was pretty balanced. I didn't feel like there was any like unfairness to the fights at all. I was really kind of deceptive though with the long arm reach, but also just really cool character design and boss design. I thought it was really interesting, just personally. I think also it could kind of be in between an A and B, which is why it's going to be at a late B. Also, speaking of, we'll move Amygdala up. We'll move Amy up. Ligarius, I was so proud of myself. Pat on the back. I first tried Martyr Ligarius, and I was so proud of myself. He's a really intimidating fight. He was really fun. I'm going to put him as an A tier. I would fight him again. I thought he was really, really cool and a really cool challenge and had really, really interesting character design, just personally. After we finished Martyr Ligarius, we came back and we did Ludwig, the Holy Blade. And holy crap. Everybody talks about how great his music is. Everybody talks about how great his theme is. The first phase of him is so irritating. And like watching other people fight him, I'm like, oh, this is not going to be too bad at all. And then me fighting him, such a freaking struggle. The fact that they have that little blood boy in the corner so that you don't have to constantly farm blood vials is such a blessing. However, that being said, I do think he's a really cool fight. I think I'm gonna put him at an A personally. This is how I'm doing things. This is how things are going. I think I'm gonna put him at an A. He was really, really interesting to me. He was definitely one of those fights that like was a good challenge. I didn't get too frustrated, I don't think. And the second phase is relatively easy. His sword's the favorite. That's the thing. His theme is really cool. His lore is really amazing. The song, the music is beautiful. The Moonlight Sword is fab. I didn't know you could get it in Dark Souls 1 too. Interesting. That's awesome. I've never played Dark Souls 1, so I don't really know. But no, I think overall Ludwig deserves to have a first place in the A category. I think he's really neat. Would I want to fight him tomorrow? No. Would I if I had to? Yes. Speaking of would I have to, the Living Nightmares can just take a seat in C. They are going to be after Miss Vicar Amelia. Kind of group CC bosses. They were kind of annoying. I think they took me 2 or 3 tries because I didn't understand a couple of the mechanics of like running from one side to another, but that's okay. In general, having a CC boss where you have to manage more than 2 or 3 enemies at once, I find can get very overwhelming. The arena was really cool. I liked the colors. I liked the idea behind them. I think I need to read up into the lore a little bit more to fully understand like their reasoning, but they're a C-class fight. They're okay. They're not somebody I would love to fight again. That's all right. So speaking of bosses that I think you have to fight, Leita Maria is like well and above known for being a cool ass fight. And for me, she's like top S tier. She was so cool. Her themes are so cool. The lore behind her is amazing. Her outfit set, her weapon set, her move set, everything with Maria is just cool. Maria's love, Leita Maria's life, right? She's fab. I think that they did a wonderful job. I think it was definitely one of those fights that like, yeah, it might not be too challenging, but at the same point in time, it gives you a little bit of something to work on. If you first shot her, it's one of those things where you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I could do that again. So personally for me, Leita Maria is a top tier, S tier fight. She was so fun. She was great. So after we fought Leita Maria, then we went through the fishing hamlet and went to fight Orphan of Cause, Orphan of Screams, the saddest, loneliest orphan with the nastiest placenta. And even though this fight like kicked my butt, I think it was really fun. I think it was a really fun, really technical fight. I really do think it deserves an S tier class or rating, I should say. It was just like, it was so challenging. There were a couple of times where there were some hitboxes that I was like, what? Excuse you, there's no freaking way. But at the end of the day, it's a fun fight. It's one of the fights that I look back on and I'm like, oh my god, wait until you get to Orphan. You know, like, it's a good time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think a lot of people also quite enjoy his fight, so, you know, I don't feel too alone in that. His AI is awesome. His character is A+. Yeah, screamy boy, right? We'll allow it. He's an orphan. He's allowed to scream. Sad man. Poor guy. So speaking of freaking screams, we have Lawrence, the first vicar. Lawrence can get boned. I really hate this fight. This took me, I think this was the longest fight between Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne that I played. I had to farm so much to replenish him. I don't understand why, especially because I first tried Amelia. I first tried freaking Cleric Beast. I first tried Parle. Like, all of the beast fights, I first tried. And then we get to Lawrence, and I understand that he's harder and he's more aggressive, but like, I just could not deal with him, you know? So for the reasons of just being a screamy jerk, for the reasons of being like impossible to manage the camera and the space because his arena was so freaking tiny, I don't know. I feel like I have to put Lawrence at like a C tier. He just pisses me off. He's a fight that I want to get good at, and I don't know how to do that. The run up to him, oh yeah, the run up to him was absolutely broken because you got to go past a hunter, you got to go past flame boys, you got to go past beasts, you got to go past the freaking otherworldly tentacle face. The fire design on him was really cool, but like, he's not a fight that I would look forward to going into again. Like, New Game Plus, he's not a fight that I'd be like, okay, cool, I can test my skills. It'll be more of just like, how well can I work on him, you know? Like, all right, so then leaving Lawrence and his stupidity, we moved into the second part of the DLC, which was the Celestial Emissary and Abritas. So we had the Celestial Emissaries, which I thought were really cool. I liked the tie-in with Maria's clock tower area. However, they were also a very easy fight. So for me, I'm going at a B. They're fine. I liked the idea of trying to find like the odd one out and then just muck him up. He was easy. It was fine. It was fun. I think it was 2 times. To beat them, I suppose. And I think they're cool. I like their little glorby heads and the noise they make. And then moving right into the second portion, right off of Celestial Emissaries, you go down the basement, and there's Miss Ebrietas. And I thought that A, she was such a sad piece of lore, but B, I don't know. I think I might have been a little over-leveled when I fought her. She's really cool. I'm gonna put her at a A tier fight right behind Margo because I do think that she's a really neat character design. I like a lot of the sluggy shaped friends, like Margo's wet nurse, and like they're tall and they have exploits. I think that's really cool. The area is super gorgeous. I loved the area that Abritas was in. I thought that it was like so pretty and well designed. I liked that she had a frenzy area, but it wasn't something that would like just demolish you if you were smart. I liked that she had a lot of dodgeable, parryable, or visceral attack moments. I don't know. I thought that it was just a fun fight. Okay, and then after we finished Abritas and the rest of the DLC, all we had left was Gehrman and the Moon Presence. I'm not going to be rating the Thumerian Descendant or like any of the Chalice Dungeon bosses because I haven't fought half of them, and the ones that I have fought have been easy peasy because I'm over leveled for the Chalice Dungeons themselves. So Gehrman, so cool. So cool. Is he a perv? Yes. Is he awful? Yes. However, I liked his movement. I liked that he was super parryable. I liked in general his fight. I think Gehrman's gonna go up behind Papa Gascoigne. They're kind of similar in the fact that you have to be better with parries. You have to be on it. You can visceral them. It's really satisfying. They both kind of have like some one-shot mechanics, which are neat. And yeah, I just really liked Gehrman's fight. I thought it was really cool. And the field is beautiful. The setting that you fight him in, gorgeous. Really, really happy about it. And then we did do the Moon Presence ending. So we did do we actually got all 4 umbilical cords. So we got all of the pieces to it. The Moon Presence felt super easy. I don't know if I was just overpowered, over leveled, or if I just was lucky, but I definitely felt like the moon presence was easier than it should have been. I was intimidated, but I didn't think it was hard. I don't know. I'm gonna put them at a high A. They're gonna go in front of Ludwig for me just because thematically I thought they were fabulous. I really enjoyed their character design, all of that stuff. I thought it was great. Bloodborne tier list? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this is my tier list. I am pretty satisfied with it. I think Maria being number 1, Cause number 2, and Gascoigne number 3 really makes sense for me. And then BSB, the witches, and Mikolash being the worst really makes sense for me in my playthrough. Overall, kind of everybody in between. I think it would really depend on if I ran through a second time, did New Game Plus runs, etc., how I would really tier people out and kind of finesse this. But as a first time run through, I'm really happy with my experience. I'm really happy with the bosses. I think the people that I put, or the bosses that I put in the S tier, all presented a really fun, good, fair challenge to me. Not like disregarding the Yharnam Thumerian queen. She was just bae, you know, she's just a gorgeous sad lady at the top of the stairs waiting for her child to not die. But you know, regardless, the ones that I rated more in the D class are either they were tedious, they were time consuming, you had to have a lot of patience, or they were just very RNG'd and kind of messed up and kind of glitchy. But you know, this is just my opinion. So you guys let me know down below in the comments what you think of this tier list. What would you change? What would you keep the same? What do you think? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like, please subscribe. And otherwise, I will see you guys again another time. Bye.